The low point, I had dealt with different health issues my entire life, but the eating disorder started when I was 23 and was a year out of recovering from open heart surgery. Um, Actually, I I suffered anorexia and binge eating. I had binge eating in college, freshman year. I didn't understand the concept of how much food I could and couldn't eat, and the heart condition and the lack of exercise was a weight gain. And then I had heart surgery in October of 2008, and that kicked my metabolism into higher gear, and I didn't realize it. And 3 months prior to that, I had been told that I needed to start losing weight. Otherwise, I had been given an ultimatum by my cardiologist to start losing weight because I was at a very higher weight for someone my age, height, and body type. Um, and I just continued to follow that routine. But my eating disorder really kicked in a year later. My grandpa had died, who was really close to me, and I moved to Portland, Oregon from Seattle, Washington, and worked as an intern for our family friend that was a CPA, and he had given me a computer software program that taught me how to count calories, all in good faith. And that was when it really kicked in, and I started learning how much I could exercise and how many calories I could eat and how much that would help me lose weight. And that was when the exercising, purging, and the anorexia started to kick in. But it wasn't until a year later, my lowest point was I had people tell me all the time, and with my heart, I have to take a specific type of medicine, that if I continued on this path, I would eventually die. And I didn't really think anything of it, and I didn't I thought I was doing everything, and I did it a lot for the looks, and I felt like the skinnier I got, the more attractive I would look. But the lowest point was February, when I was laying on my bed, and because my blood was thicker than it needed to be, my mother had to give me shots to thin my blood in my stomach, and tried to find fat where there was none. And to see her crying, and my dad, who was a big, strong guy, just hiding in the back room because he didn't like needles and blood, really hit me. And that was one of the major low points for me. Two things. One being that same incident, seeing my family just at their wits' end with me, and seeing my grandma, who was aging, not being able to celebrate her birthday with me, and fighting with them. I got into arguments over food, and people telling me that I wasn't the same person that they know. I was moody, mean, defensive, and especially when it came to food. I constantly thought about calories and how much I could burn off by exercise. And the other thing, and one of the bigger factors, is that I found out that Christmas that my sister-in-law was pregnant with my first nephew. And I wanted to be the uncle that was there. And I wanted to be the uncle that is, and not the uncle that was. And I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a part of his life for as long as I could. And knowing that if I didn't, I wouldn't be part of his life was a big turning point as well. Oh wow, it's hard to pinpoint just one. I have two, one from different places. While I was at the ranch, I went in thinking that my idea of anorexia had been skewed to someone that was in the hospital and completely skinny. And I went fighting the entire way, saying, I'm not like this. I don't have this problem. I'm perfectly fine. Out loud, but in my head I was saying no one would understand if I tried to explain it to him. when I was at the ranch, I met several people, therapists, nurses, etc. But it was the people that were there, the other residents, that really made it hit home for me, and the realization that I'm not alone in this. That yeah, there are people that get what I'm going through. There are people that know how it feels to worry so much about how you look, to go to this extreme, to not to feel like you're alone, and to be able to communicate and realize that you're not alone, that these people get you, was a big thing. And then the other thing along that same lines was Family Week. When you get to what Rosewood deems as well enough, you invite your family into town and you spend a week outside of treatment in a special group with family members, with significant others. And it was a small group. It was me, my parents, and one other person and their parents. And I felt it was really intimate, and we were able to share. I had some issues that I was able to get out, and I was able to explain the eating disorder. I mean, my parents had done research. My mom especially was an avid reader of anorexia, and wanted to learn herself so she could help me as best as she could. But it wasn't until Family Week and seeing them learn and be open to learn, and especially my dad, who is a smart guy but isn't open to learning stuff and thinks he knows a lot, just wanting to learn and learning, and seeing them understand in the end of the week, seeing them understand what it was like for me and what I was going through, and have them make that commitment to me to work with me no matter what, was real big, and made me realize that this was going to be a challenge, but I had the help for it. Oh man, my life has changed. I moved to Arizona from Seattle, which is where I was when I went into treatment. I am planning on going back to school in the future. I want to, because of my time at Rosewood, I want to go back and become a dietitian and learn and eventually treat people with eating disorders. And I've been looking at that, but in the meantime, I am working part-time, trying to get full-time in the back room at Target. I've been doing that for almost a year. I love it. Also, thanks to Rosewood, I've become more social around people, learned to read people, learned to know myself better, and it's given me the freedom and not thinking about. I still have moments. I like to tell people I am recovering. I'm in recovery. I'm not recovered, and I don't think I ever will be. But I feel like I don't care as much. I go out more. I enjoy myself around food. I enjoy more the social aspect. I don't find myself counting calories as much as I used to. I order food because I'm hungry. I don't worry about when I'm going to get to the gym the next time, and I don't stress as much as I used to when I didn't get to the gym. I'm learning new things. I'm meeting new people. I'm working my recovery, and I've also been back to Rosewood a couple of times. I've actually spoken, and that's something I would have never done. I've spoken to the Rosewood community, and I spoke to high schools about. I've taken that step and told people my story and told them about my life and what it means to be a male with eating disorders, and just what happened, and seeing that and being on the other side of the lens. That's been quite an eye-opening experience for me. I would say you're not alone. You may feel like it. Goodness knows I did. But no matter what, you always have somebody that cares for you, even if you don't think it or won't want to believe it. There's always going to be somebody there for you. There's always somebody pulling for you. And even in the darkest moments, just know that there's someone thinking of you, praying for you, sending positive vibes your way. And whether it's family members or it's members of your treatment team, and to know to reach out and let them know, and to not be afraid to speak your mind and ask for help if you feel like you need it.